As an outsider and as a player, I remember when I first saw Lara Croft go, it was a cool example of subverting expectations. Oh, it's less board gamey. Like, I really liked those wooden boards on Hitman Go and this particular aesthetic. Like, oh, they're changing it. But that's really the best thing you can do is, like, do not do the same thing again. Do something very different.
I think that the first thing that struck me obviously was the visuals, and then once I started diving into the game, the two other things that really stood out for me was the simplicity of the controls, how much diversity in the gameplay and the mechanics and so on you could get with literally just swiping.
It had taken the idea that at its heart, Tomb Raider and tomb raiding is about solving a puzzle, and that just felt so right. And this idea that Lara has to move intelligently around a map, outwitting enemies and solving environmental obstacles, that just felt perfect.
As a gamer and as a Tomb Raider fan, a longtime Tomb Raider fan, I loved the game the first time I played it. Immediately I could tell that there were sounds from Tomb Raider 2 and the classic running sound and shooting sound, and these sound effects really had an instant, sense of nostalgia.
What's interesting is that an element of the original Tomb Raider games that the team pulled into Lara Croft Go was sort of the low poly feeling. Like, there's a nostalgia behind how those games looked, and like everybody is familiar with that original Lara Croft model, right?
It feels very, very much like a respectful homage, but it also is one that breaks new ground. I remember the first time that I was moving and climbing up a cliff, and I flicked forward and Lara did her handstand. It's such an iconic move from the earlier games.
I actually heard from one of the original core design devs, and they were so impressed by how well it paid homage to the original games that they created.
I love the fact that Square Enix Montreal has taken these two great franchises and come up with two unique games that are completely different than anything else that has been done on console or PC before. I hope they keep doing it because I'd love to see what the next one is.